Aloha friends, it's Robert Stellick with Blue Planet. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to kayak in 5 minutes. I'm going to cover how to carry the kayak, getting in and out, paddle handling, stroke technique, safety, and balance tips. Sit on top kayaks are great for warm weather, rough water conditions like paddling in the ocean. If a little bit of water splashes in, it's no big deal. You don't need a skirt or anything like that. It's easy to get back on if you need to. And if it's rough and water gets in there, usually sit on top kayaks will have like a drain hole. This one has a plug, so you just pull out the plug and the water can drain out. So when you're carrying the kayak by yourself, make sure to protect your back. Bend your knees when you're lifting it up, keep your back straight, and then lift up the kayak like this. Before you get on the water, it's a good idea to practice getting in and out on land first. The easiest way to get on is in shallow water. You basically just sit down in the center of the kayak, make sure your weight is balanced, and start paddling. If you're getting into deeper water in a place like this or from a dock, it's really important to keep the kayak close to the edge and get on and keep your weight centered right over the center of the kayak at all times, because if you're not centered, you are going to fall in. The correct way to hold the paddle is with these scooped ends pointing downward. So this is the correct way to hold the paddle. And then the blades have a scoop in them. This is the power face of the paddle, so the scoop side is the one facing you. So beginners often only use the tip of the blade. Ideally you want to use the whole blade. So plant the whole blade in the water, and the goal is to plant the blade in the water and pull yourself past it. Sometimes beginners tend to hold the paddle too close together with their hands. Ideally, if you put the paddle on top of your head and make right angles with your elbows, it's called the paddler's box. That's a good width for your paddle grip. You don't want to have a death grip on your paddle. Keep your hands kind of loose, kind of like an OK sign. That way you can get a nice forward reach with your paddle without twisting your wrist. When you exit the water, you want to slice the paddle out of the water rather than pulling up water or pulling the paddle out of the water in the back. So it's better to just slice the blade out of the water smoothly. You want to have a nice upright position in the kayak, so sitting up straight and not leaning forward or kick back like this. To turn around, you can do a sweep stroke, which is kind of further out to the side. This will turn the kayak more quickly. You can also turn by putting the blade behind you and moving it backwards, doing a backward sweep stroke. If you have some forward momentum, you can also turn the kayak by just reaching the paddle behind you and using it like a rudder. Just pushing out a little bit to the side, and that's also going to make your kayak turn. When you're doing a backwards stroke, you don't need to turn the blade around to face the opposite way. Just use this side of the blade for the backward stroke, so that when you're ready to do a forward stroke on the other side, you don't have to spin the paddle back around again. Most beginners kind of keep their body completely still and just use their arms to paddle like this. To be more efficient, you want to kind of wind up your body, use a rotation, and wind up your body like a spring, and then use an efficient stroke by using your whole upper body. So if you're struggling with balance a little bit, just try to get upright, look forward, don't look down at the water at your kayak. You can also use the paddle for bracing, like you can brace the paddle in the water and then just keep your hips loose and keep your upper body over the center of the kayak. Another good stroke to learn is the draw stroke. Let's say you want to move sideways to get towards the dock. You just pull the blade towards the kayak, so you can kind of move the kayak sideways. So you want to make sure on a draw stroke to pull the paddle out before you get it underneath and have it getting pulled underneath your kayak. In terms of safety, make sure you go out in safe conditions. Don't go out in strong offshore winds where it might be hard to get back to shore. So the most important thing is don't take it too seriously, just have fun and enjoy. Alright, thanks for watching this video on how to kayak in 5 minutes. I hope you found it helpful. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up down below. We'll see you on the water. Aloha.